In this lesson, we're going to examine how Hatshepsut's titles changed over time. It's important to realise that during her time from Queen's Consort to Regent and then to Pharaoh in her own right, she started using different titles to describe her role. For example, as Queen's Consort, she was called King's Daughter, King's Sister, King's Great Wife, and the God's Wife of a Moon. By the time she was Regent for Tutmosis III, she'd added Mistress of the Two Lands to her titles. Finally, as king, she adopted a pharaonic name, which described her as Horus, mighty of cars, two ladies, flourishing of years, the Horus of gold, the divine of diadem, the king of Upper and Lower Egypt, the lord of the two lands, and the daughter of Ra. As mentioned before, she was also the first one to introduce this concept of Maat, which is both a goddess and also the idea of truth and justice and integrity. Of course, her titles weren't the only thing that changed. Instead, her royal image, the way she projected herself to her people, changed as well. We know this because of examinations of statues, reliefs, and other carvings. In the first stage, she has feminine characteristics. In the second stage, she has feminine characteristics with kingly accessories. And by the time the third stage comes around, it's almost completely male dominated. She is very traditional. So, stage one, it's very clear that her pictures and her carvings and her statues have feminine facial features, slender waist and breasts, slender, thin limbs, a body-fitting dress, and she wears the female regalia of the Queen's Great Wife, in particular the vulture cap. This is important because later on she gets rid of the vulture cap and wears other crowns. In stage two, she's now wearing the shendiet, the royal kilt, as well as the nemes and the uraeus, which is the striped headcloth with the rearing cobra above it. She also wears the Osiris crown, and in a manner that is common amongst later pharaohs, she has the symbols of Egypt's enemies under her feet, as if she's crushed them. Finally, in stage three, she has become completely male dominated. She still has the shendiet, the nemes, and the uraeus, but she's also adopted the false beard and the muscular limbs and the capresh, which is the blue crown. In particular, she's also adopted a military pose. She's striding forward and she's kneeling before the gods and making offerings, which were things that only the pharaoh could do. Finally, she depicts herself as a sphinx.